Living Color from the Radio What Studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. Scream it from the rooftops. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Make your next thing a big one. I got to tell you, I'm enjoying having weddings every Saturday. Oh my goodness, it's a good time. I've been missing it. I was missing it for a couple, 3-4 months, where there was no weddings. I did have some karaoke shows the first 2 months of the COVID lockdown. I didn't have any shows, and I was jonesing. Yeah, I was doing podcasting, and I still had RadioWhat.com running. So, yeah, I kept myself busy, doing things, but I missed the karaoke shows. I missed the weddings. I missed going out and doing stuff with the people, entertaining the people. I did. I really, really did. But they're back. I mean, things are coming back. Yes, wear a mask. I have my purple bandana. I don't know if that really counts as a mask, but it seems to do the job. I don't have an N95 mask. The mask, whoever sells M95s, that's the ones making money. they're the ones they're the ones making the cash during the COVID. I know capitalism, right? If there's a situation, find a way to capitalize on it. Isn't that right? Whoever's making the COVID signs, I know I've seen signs for COVID that are professionally made, and whoever's making those signs, they're making some money. But hey, I went down a different highway. I was talking about the good times that I'm having at events, and then I went and talked about capitalism. I tell you, it's a good thing. You have opportunity. I know a lot of people think the rich get richer, and that does happen. If you have capital, you can be more involved in capitalism. If you don't have the capital, then you cannot, or it's a little more difficult. But you can be whatever you want to be. Just work hard. Grind. All right. Well, hey, I know I'm down a rabbit hole. Let me see if I can get out of this hole. This week's shows, I'll be at the Cedar Lounge. They assure me that their cleaning for the last 2 weeks is done, and they will be opened up on Wednesday, just in time for the Thursday karaoke jam, Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Morrilton, Arkansas. That's my newest Thursday night public show, video dance party karaoke jam at the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Morrilton on Thursday nights. The place to be. So hopefully their cleaning is done and we could do a Thursday night karaoke jam. Now the RAB, they're cleaning for about 2 weeks. I think they did last Friday night. So next Friday, they will probably be closed as well. So the following Friday, we'll be back at the RAB. I know people were calling me, texting me, why is the RAB closed? Well, the RAB in Conway, Arkansas, if you want to check their Facebook, they can give you all the info. Get it straight from the horse's mouth, if you can. So, yes, go to the RAB's Facebook page and find out what happened. What's going on? Why is it closed? And believe it, I was missing the friendly faces at the RAB last Friday night. But yesterday, as I record this on Sunday, Saturday night, I had a fantastic wedding. Oh my goodness. Talk about video dance party karaoke jam. There were kids, little kids all the way to old folks. And the little kids were dancing around, and the old folks were just having a good time, watching the little kids, because, little kids make you feel young when they dance and laugh and play and have a good time. And then as soon as the groom, during one of the songs, he started singing real loud. So I handed him a microphone, and that started the karaoke portion of the show. And once you start the karaoke, it just, who knows what's going to happen then. So the little kids, they sang a lot of songs, and the old folks, you could tell their parents and grandparents were video recording. So when those little kids get famous, those people are gonna say, do you have any video from when they were little kids? Oh yeah, I got plenty of video. Yeah, yeah, this is the stuff that they reminisce and possibly embarrass you on their when you become famous, successful. Hey, remember this? Remember when you sang at that wedding that one time? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for having me out to the wedding. That was fantastic. I have another wedding on Saturday, and that primes to be a very good one as well. They have planned quite a bit on their wedding. The more you plan, the better I am. I send you an online music request, planning form, even an event timeline. And this way you can have things, I can run it exactly the way you want. I have no doubt that I can show up to a wedding with no planning and give you a good time. But to make it a great time, you have to be involved. You definitely do. Tell me the music you want. Tell me, the right songs, the right mood you want, how you want things to go. And if you need help trying to figure out how things should go, especially during a wedding, heck, you've never been to a wedding before, especially if it's your own wedding, right? It's only one time, forever and ever, right? Amen? Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely can help you with weddings for sure. But like the corporate stuff and the birthdays, sweet 16s. Yeah, I give you the event planning. This way, I become an extension of you. I'm not just some guy showing up playing whatever he wants to play. No, I play what you want to play. Yeah, it's a good time. And I play it at the right time. Yes, timing. Good DJ. All right. Also, if you want to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, November 15th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Why did I say it like that? Sunday, November 15th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, violent clashes break out after pro-Trump demonstration in D.C. Tensions flared overnight in Washington, D.C. after thousands of President Trump's supporters marched to the Supreme Court on Saturday to protest the presidential election results, despite there being no evidence of widespread voter fraud. Counter-protesters clashed with some of the demonstrators as evening fell. The Associated Press reports there were fistfights, at least one stabbing, and at least 20 arrests made throughout the day. 2 police officers were reportedly injured, and several firearms were recovered by law enforcement. Earlier in the day, Trump's motorcade passed through the crowd en route to his Virginia Golf Club, and the president appeared to follow how the rest of the evening played out, talking to Twitter to blame Antifa for the violence and urged D.C. police to, quote, do your job and don't hold back, end quote. Pro-Trump crowds gathered in several other cities throughout the U.S. as well. This is according to the Associated Press and NBC News. Number 2, BioNTech founder, we could have a normal winter next year. Ugur Sahin, the co-founder of BioNTech, told BBC on Sunday that the company's coronavirus vaccine, which is being co-developed with Pfizer and was found to be 90% effective in an interim trial analysis, likely won't immediately bring down infection numbers if it's unveiled later this year, but believes, quote, we could have a normal winter next year, end quote. The plan, he said, is to deliver 300 million doses worldwide by April 2021, which should begin to curb the spread of the virus. And after it will be, quote, absolutely essential, end quote, to, quote, get a high vaccination rate before autumn next year, quote, end quote. Sahin said he's, quote, confident, end quote, that will be the case, thanks to the number of vaccine companies helping Pfizer and BioNTech increase the supply. This is according to BBC and Politico. Number 3, judge invalidates stricter DACA rules. Judge Nicholas Garoufis of the Eastern District of New York ruled Saturday that Trump administration rules limiting applications and renewals for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which protects immigrants living in the U.S. since childhood without legal permission, were invalid, restoring the program to full operation as intended by the Obama administration. In July, acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf issued a memorandum that only offered DACA renewals for 1 year rather than 2, and closed off the program for new applications. From there, the administration would decide whether to end the program entirely. But Garoufis ruled Wolf's policy was improperly issued because he hadn't been properly appointed to his acting position since the Senate has not taken up his nomination. It is the 5th judicial ruling to find that Wolf's appointment violates federal job vacancy law. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and CNN. Number 4, China headlines major Asia-Pacific free trade agreement. Leaders from 15 Asia-Pacific nations on Sunday signed what analysts have said by some measures is the largest free trade agreement in history. The 10 members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations joined up with Australia, China, Japan, New Zealand, and South Korea to cement the pact, which could add nearly $200 billion to the global economy by 2030, according to some estimates. While the Financial Times described the regional comprehensive economic partnership as a, quote, fairly shallow agreement, end quote, that is not expected to lead to charge overall tariff reductions, it's still considered a step towards making Asia a more coherent trading zone akin to the European Union. It's also the first free trade deal between China, Japan, and South Korea, although India's absence is viewed as significant. It will reportedly take some time to ratify the RCEP. This is according to Agence France Presse and the Financial Times. Number 5, Armenians leave homes as villages come under Azerbaijani control. Territorial concessions included a Russian-brokered ceasefire agreement went into effect Sunday, and Armenians have been leaving parts of the Nagorno-Karabakh region en masse, although Azerbaijan is agreed to extend the withdrawal deadline for another 10 days. Some of the departing Armenians are setting fire to their homes, the Associated Press reports. The conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the disputed territory, which is officially recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but has been controlled by ethnic Armenians for decades, flared up in recent months. The fighting resulted in Azerbaijan seizing the key city of Shusha, leading to the ceasefire, which Russia plans to enforce with 2,000 peacekeepers. It's unclear how many Azeris will return to the nation after being displaced in 1994. The Armenians who are leaving their homes cast doubt on the possibility that they could live peacefully beside the returning Azeris, per AP, and many remain uncertain of where their next destination will be. This is according to the Associated Press and Al Jazeera. Number 6, Vietnam braces for typhoon. Hurricane heads towards Central America. Typhoon Vamco made landfall in Vietnam on Sunday, bringing with it winds that have topped out at 150 miles per hour. Vietnamese provinces in its path plan to evacuate 468,000 people by Saturday evening before reaching Vietnam. Vamco struck the Philippines, killing 67 people. It was the deadliest of 21 storms to hit the archipelago this year. Meanwhile, Central America is bracing for Hurricane Iota's, quote, potentially catastrophic, end quote, winds and, quote, life-threatening storm surge, end quote. The storm, which the National Hurricane Center said is rapidly strengthening, is heading towards Nicaragua and Honduras. Iota is the 13th hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season and a record-breaking 30th named storm. This is according to CNN and Fox News. Number 7, Israel to move forward with controversial settlement plan, watchdog says. Peace Now, a settlement watchdog group, said the Israel Land Authority announced Sunday that it is moving forward with the construction of hundreds of homes in an East Jerusalem settlement, a move that could cut off parts of the city claimed by Palestinians in the West Bank. Peace Now said the decision is a, quote, lethal blow to the prospects of peace, end quote, and accused Israel of, quote, taking advantage of the final weeks of the, end quote, Trump administration, which has generally remained distant from issues surrounding settlement construction. The incoming Biden administration, on the other hand, is expected to take a firmer stance against expansion. This is according to the Associated Press. Number 8, Tigray forces fire across Eritrean borders as Ethiopia conflict intensifies. Forces from Ethiopia's northern Tigray region, which is mired in an escalating conflict with the Ethiopian federal government, fired rockets across the border into Eritrea, a neighboring country that Ethiopia recently struck a groundbreaking peace deal with 2 decades after the two nations fought a war. The Tigrayan forces alleged Ethiopian soldiers were using an Eritrean airport to attack Tigray. Elsewhere in Ethiopia on Sunday, gunmen have reportedly killed dozens of people in a bus attack in the country's western region. The number of reported casualties is currently 34, but the toll is reportedly expected to rise. There is no information about the perpetrators and no known link between the attack and the military operations in Tigray. This is according to the BBC and Al Jazeera. Number 9, 2 killed in pro-democracy protest in Peru. 2 protesters were killed on Saturday after a massive pro-democracy protest took place in the capital, Lima, and several other cities and towns throughout the South American country. The demonstrations have taken place throughout the week. Saturday was the first day with reports of fatalities. The unrest began after the removal of President Martin Vizcarra and the subsequent installation of a de facto government, which many Peruvians consider a coup, The Guardian reports. Protesters have demanded the resignation of new President Manuel Merino, and Peru's current Speaker of Congress has called a multi-party meeting to discuss it. Police reportedly detained 30 protesters on Sunday and were accused of repressing largely peaceful demonstrations. Images appear to show riot police deploying tear gas to break up the crowds. This is according to The Guardian. Number 10, Dustin Johnson looks too close. Dustin Johnson looks to close out Masters at capture green jacket. The final day of the Masters tournament kicked off Sunday morning at Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, with Dustin Johnson in command. The U.S.'s Johnson, who has an impressive 16 under par through the first 3 rounds, is holding on to a seemingly secure 4-shot lead over Australia's Cameron Smith, Mexico's Abraham Ancer, and South Korea's Sungjae Im. Though CBS Sports notes he has lost 54-hole leads at majors before. Johnson is one of the top golfers in the world, but the 36-year-old has only captured 1 major in his career, the 2016 U.S. Open. He's seeking his first green jacket, having finished in a tie for second at the 2019 Masters. This is according to ESPN and CBS Sports. That's 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, November 15th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. I'm Keys Dan, trying to fill my head with knowledge. And if you like the sound of my voice, come along the journey with me. But please don't make me the only source of news. I'm a bobo. I'm trying to learn just like all of you. We should all keep trying to learn and fill our heads with knowledge and, make sure that we're saying the right things and, talking the right talk. Just the facts, man. Just the facts. I read them as I see them. These are the 10 news items that get curated for me every day. So I read them to you on this nice broadcast software that I have. Why not? But please look up all the footnotes in all the news items that I present to you. And if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Drop me some comments, share, was it like, share, comment, all that kind of thing. Yeah, and subscribe. Yeah, there you go. Subscribe. I always forget subscribe. This way you never miss any of my little updates, which I try to do on the daily. How about that? Also, if you want to watch me play some video games, you can do that too. People seem to be having a good time doing that. I got, if anybody's familiar with video game streaming, I got raided. That's when one streamer is about to call it quits and he sends all his followers over to another streamer. Well, I got raided a couple of nights ago and I had a lot more viewers than I usually had. So, and they were engaging with me and I was talking to them while I was playing the game. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. It's nice to interact with people in real life and online for that matter. So if you want to follow me online and possibly engage with me. And if you want to play some Fortnite, that's what I've been playing lately. I know that you can play with people online, and I've done that several times. That's a lot of fun as well. You can find me using the hashtag KeysDanGaming. I'm on Twitch and Facebook Gaming. Yeah, that's it for me. It's KeysDan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com.